sun-soaked and proud, hung in the rafters, wrapped in shroud. Hands work strong, they twist and bind, a rebel's oath, slow burned and signed. Burn it all, let the embers soar, gold in the ash and coal in the core. No masters here, no gates to climb, we blaze the trail, we love that time. Choke what we designed. The flames don't die, they realign. The pulse within begins to rise. We break the night and claim the skies. Burn it all, let the embers soar, gold in the ash and coal in the core. No masters here, no gates to climb, we blaze the trail, we love that time.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Burn It All. I'm Captain RG3, bringing you one more episode of a bunch of guys smoking cigars and talking about crypto. All right, well, let's bring everybody up. We've got my man, Triplet Dad. What's happening, buddy? How you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good. We've got Mr. Hexfire himself, Crispy Man, and a friend from the crypto world. When everybody was out at the Bitcoin convention, SJ ran into a fellow cigar aficionado at the convention, and what do you know? He's crypto and cigars. So this is our new friend Michael. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Good.
Cool. Hey, so it works. So it works.
It works.
Right?
What's that?
You start talking about cigars with people, and then all of a sudden you're like, "You're in crypto. I'm in crypto. I'm in
does.
cigars."
It does. It's one of the best places to have good conversations. I'll tell you, is in a cigar lounge or sitting down with somebody having a cigar, because everybody's chill, everyone's relaxed, everybody's enjoying themselves, and good conversation goes along with it. And that's what you got to do when you're talking crypto, is have a good conversation. So real quick, let's get into what we're going to talk about today. As far as the brand, we went with the boutique brand, which was, again, probably a big mistake because none of us could find the cigars. So we went with Rojas. Rojas is an American cigar company. Actually, he's in Texas. A guy by the name of Noel Rojas. He was a Cuban national, moved to Nicaragua. Was rolling cigars in Cuba. Very young guy too. I think he's probably like in his 40s or something. And just got on the scene, broke out on the scene, and started just doing it well because he had a passion for rolling cigars. He had a passion for building his company, and so he built Rojas. And they've become real famous lately because of their Street Taco line. And we've been all talking about them, raving about them. I've missed a couple of chances to pick some up, and I could not find one anywhere. And that's because they're a boutique brand. And what that means in the cigar world is if you're a boutique brand, you're only doing you're under 1 million cigars a year. So that means that your stuff's hard to find, but when your name's out there and people want it, that's gonna explode you. So I think that he's on track to build his company and go hard. He's out of Esteli, Nicaragua. So a lot of his cigars are made out of the factory. I think he took an old theater or something and turned it into a cigar factory. I was reading about it. And
every freaking city in America that has a decent sized population has one of those donut shops.
Yeah.
That when they were out of donuts, they're out of donuts. They're not making anymore, right? And that's very similar with these small brand tobacco companies. Right, they go and they pick the leaf and they pick the binder, all the parts you need for a cigar, and when they're out, they're out. There's no going back to get that batch of stuff, right?
Yeah, and what's interesting is even the big brand. I mean, the big brands can do it better because they store years and years and years of tobacco, and so they can pull the same blend out and do it. But these smaller boutique style brands, they have a hard time, because they purchase their tobacco one time and then they have to sell all their cigars, and they got to go try and find that again. And it's very difficult to actually find it. So you get that cigar and it's like, oh man, it don't taste the same anymore, you know? And so that's kind of the catch 22 there is, yeah, they'll put out a good cigar, but then it's hard for them to keep up the the continuity like my father would do. And which brings me to, so we're all going to have to fess up to what we got. I think the only person here that actually has a Rojas cigar is Crispy Man, because he's always got at least one or two of everything in his humidor. So
yeah. At the moment that we smoke, this is an Al Pastor, so it's a street taco, and let's see, it's one of the larger sizes. The originals when they first came out were smaller gauge, but this is a little bit longer, like a 6.
That's like the size of the Ashton I smoked last week. That's a big, big boy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah, because they're actually known. Rojas Cigars is known for their smaller ring gauges. That's what they were. That was like their deal. So, Triple Dad, what do you got there?
Staying in the theme of edibles. I got a meat lovers, a Dumbarton tobacco company ribeye is what it is.
Can't go wrong with that baby right there.
No, I love this cigar.
Dunbarton is putting out the best of the best, and Steve Saka is just he's an honest guy in the business. He tells people like it is, and he puts out good product. And he lets everybody know what's coming out and how it's coming out and what it's going to look like next year and whether it's going to change or whether he can put it out again. I really like that about him. He just lets you know what's up. Hey, Michael, our new friend, what do you got there?
I got myself a Davidoff Millennium. I've never had one of these before, but when I normally smoke Davidoffs, it's always pretty much like a Connecticut or a lighter blend. I rarely see them have anything dark, so I've been on a little bit of a Davidoff binge lately, so I was like, why not keep it going?
Nice. All right. Well, the reason I went with something special because I had to go into the humidor and say, okay, what am I going to get? And I pulled this out. Now, I've had this sitting in there for a while, waiting for especially somebody like said, hey man, you got to get one of these. Great. And I'm not big on Lanceros. So to honor, Rojas, I got the small ring gauge, and I also went with a Cuban National. This is a Don Pepin Garcia original, blue label, and slash and burn, everybody. Slash and burn. So that's what I went with. I went with this Don Pepin. It's something special, and I've been wanting to smoke this Lancero for a while because I don't smoke too many Lanceros, and so to honor Rojas, that's how I did it. So I'm going to give this one a try, which is got to be a phenomenal smoke. So slash and burn, everybody.
All right. Again, pairing mine this week with a Virgil's Vanilla Cream.
Oh, I am pairing with a
Fresca. Nice call, buddy.
Bubbly blackberry.
Fresca and Al Pastor go well. What you got there, Michael?
I got water. I've been fasting since Sunday, so it's like nothing sweet, nothing but tea and water, and then salt with water. Horrible.
Dude, you're a diehard. You're fasting and smoking cigar at the same time.
Sunday.
That puts you how many hours now?
Oh, I don't know. Since what, Sunday afternoon? Would that be? I'm not good at that type of math.
Damn, we're Thursday, bro. We're Wednesday.
That's pretty good. That's really good, man. That's like a 60-hour fast or something so far. Maybe a little
I've
more.
already lost about like 14, 15 pounds. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you lose a lot of water. You lose a lot of water.
The water weight, yeah.
You doing it for health purposes, religious purposes?
Just health purposes. My diet's been doing okay, but I feel like it just hasn't been going fast enough. And my doctor's like, well, why don't you just do this? And I was like, I can do that, Then in a couple, like next week, I get to start eating like salmon, spinach, tomatoes.
Oh, nice.
And then something else, but I always forget. Oh, hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah,
you
can't miss those. Yeah.
Wow.
I've been on a 14-10 at this point, right? Intermittent fasting schedule. I usually I'm like a 16-8 is like kind of a norm when I've done it. But then when I was really focused, I like trying the longer ones. But the 60 hours was the longest I could do. Maybe I would try it again sometime. But
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like anything. The only thing I've noticed is if like I don't have enough salt or enough of the potassium, that's when your head starts to go. If you got those two things down, plus all the other like pills you can get off the counter, you're good to go.
yeah, I get it. The electrolytes are important because man, I get it in my legs. I'll get the cramps. Like I'll wake up and I'll wake up in the morning. I'm like, God damn, what is this? I mean, my foot's all curled. And,
Oh yeah.
I hate that, man.
You start getting that dehydration. Let me say hello to the chat room real quick. We got a bunch of regulars in here. We got Beached Whale. I think made every show so far. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Who else we got? Hey, we got Fast Abdul in there, and he is here for the tech, of course, as always.
And he doesn't fast, even though his name says that.
Yeah.
My buddy 404 is out here. You see the 404
Fox,
monster?
Hex Wizard, 404, watching you guys. He's in real life cigar lounge. Tam, lady, welcome. Always supporting.
Man, her ex is off the hook now, huh?
What's that?
Her ex is off the hook now. Her Twitter account, her post. You ever see her stuff out there? You could follow her. Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, dude.
When you said her ex, I'm thinking, do you know her ex?
Yeah.
Well, talking about
that could be extrapolated in a whole bunch of ways. No.
Yeah, I don't
specifically about. I'm trying to use the right word for Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're getting social media correct. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I'm virtue signaling. You know, I saw it on the X, so you know I'm in because I know X. That's it.
404 says Rocky Patel is the best. I think all round good cigars, all price ranges, you name it. I think I gotta say Rocky Patel is like the solid. Definitely a solid.
It's super solid, man. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like my favorite cigars aren't Rocky Patels. Like I can say this is the top 5. But when it comes to like, if I gotta grab something out of a handful of cigars that somebody's showing me, I'll grab the Rocky.
So doing work in the garage and just piddling around on the computer, and I'm not just kicking back, enjoying a cigar, enjoying it, right? I'll grab like a Rocky Patel Edge Habano, which are fairly inexpensive cigars, and you can get them by the stack. On the auction houses, yeah,
even in the stores there. I mean, get a nice Connecticut. It's kind of light, depending on which one you get, but they're like $8, which is a great price point,
Yeah, on Cigar Bin,
you can get for like $4.
Yeah. I've got a whole bunch of double barrel aged edges coming in Monday.
I love those edges.
Yeah.
You got all the intel on that site, man.
I'm on it constantly.
I like it.
How is it?
Phenomenal. It is.
How's yours, Mike?
This one's good. It kind of has like a little bit of I don't know exactly what fruit it is, but like a dark fruit taste to it, which I really do love. And then you got your standard like earthy notes, but anytime you have a little bit of, maybe because I just haven't eaten anything, I'm just more receptive to just the flavors coming out of this thing right now.
Yeah, you are probably hypersensitive right now to any kind of food.
No taste. Shit, man.
Yeah. Well, like a few of my friends at the lounge have been telling me I need to start retrohaling all of my cigars, but I just haven't been able to do it consistently.
Oh, RG3 will teach you. He'll teach you.
Oh, I love it,
dude,
man.
I have that instinct and it just stops. As soon as I get completely stops, I'm like, okay, I'll just push it out the mouth like a normal person.
I can do it with water and food, but not smoke. It's hard.
You gotta just gotta keep going. Like once you get it started, you just keep going and
see, but I was kind of funky doing it though.
Or do you like Michael? Either one?
Oh, I've been called everything. I have like 10 names right now, just depending on where I go. It's literally like by lounge in Washington State, I have a different name. Some people just call me Mike. Some people call me Michael. One calls me Big Mike. There's one where it's a bunch of my friends. They call me Miguelito, which is like the opposite, right? But like Washington State's a very weird cigar culture. it's like you basically usually only have them cigar lounges on native land, or they have to be private membership clubs.
Yeah.
Really?
So yeah, you can't just go out and smoke like you normally would, you know. There's a lot of restaurants here that actually have like old lounges still built into them, but you can't smoke in there anymore. They just made them into like more private dining experiences. It's rough.
Hey, so Mike, tell us about your crypto stuff, man. Hey, by the way, I took a look at your YouTube Sharp, man. I like your YouTube Sharp.
Oh yeah, so I'm basically a trader normally, and then back in 2020, I had lost my job as a marketing manager for a water company up here in Seattle, and the government was basically paying me to stay home, and I had like zero incentive to like do anything as far as work was concerned. So I basically started up a YouTube channel where at first I was covering some of the Chaz riots that we had up here, where it was just like, you know, the whole city or part of the city was taken over, and it was just lots of riots. And I was like, you know, I'll pass the time by just seeing what's going on. And then during that time, I'd always been crypto curious. I'd been buying up crypto for a while, but never just got into it. Kind of as a YOLO, I bought like $400 on Dogecoin back when it was at like 0.0024, like way back in the day.
Nice.
And then when it started to spike, I was like, well, why don't I just talk about this? The riots were calming down, and I just kind of moved over to crypto, and I got like one of the larger Dogecoin followings back in the day. I mean, at the peak, it was like maybe 15,000 people watching me. I wasn't like BitBoy size, but I was up there. And then just doing all the technical analysis, helping people kind of trade responsibly. People don't usually understand how a lot of the technical analysis YouTubers make money. And so I try to like explain how they make money and how you should be prepared to like kind of get influenced into doing stuff you probably shouldn't be doing, like trading 100x leverage with your favorite meme coin or something like that. You know, just making sure that your portfolio goes up over time. Maybe you don't need to buy all those crazy meme coins. Maybe you just want to buy some Bitcoin and Ethereum, because people forget Ethereum can drop 25% a day, like, you know, like an average meme coin, right? Yeah. So, you know, just been doing that. Like to trade, talk. I go to Vegas all the time for like different cryptocurrency events. I think the next one up is maybe Rare Evo coming up pretty soon. And then, you know, I just hang with all the influencers, have a good time. And I do some consulting for companies that want to break into the crypto space as far as marketing. Like right now I'm working with a company like Opus Clip, where they chop up all of your podcasts and then they make it into short form content or shorter content, right? And I basically just kind of help them guide their way into the space. But it's fun. I mean, on days like today where the market's just crashing, like I still made money, but like the market's all over the place right now. Right now.
Oh,
so
yeah. Doge got hit like everything else today, but yeah, I'm a fan of the Doge. I mean, not because it's nothing other than the fact I like the dog, you know.
Yeah.
The dog meme. But I mean, early back in 18, I was buying the Doge, you know, in 19, and I did pretty well on that run up, but I wasn't one of those guys, but I did pretty well on that. But for this cycle, when we got to the bottom, I started doing just a regular DCA into Doge.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
So I got into a lot of trouble with my community during the 2021 rally, because Dogecoin was kind of going parabolic, and I saw all this money I was making, and I'm like, man, this is a good chunk of cash, right? So I told everybody, if Bitcoin finds its way up to 50%, I'm going to sell half of it. If it goes up to 60%, I'll sell another 10%, 70% of the 10% up until it gets up to $1, right? And then what happened was, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I had recently was hanging out with a couple friends out in like the grass area of my apartment building, and we all smoked a lot of like weed, basically. So I was very high. But I got an alert that said Dogecoin hit 50 cents. So I went over to my computer, which at that time I didn't rent a server, so I was just like having my home computer streaming 24/7 Dogecoin prices. I hopped on, I did a live sell of Dogecoin, and as soon as I did that, my community turned on me in a heartbeat for not having diamond hands, and they were furious with me. And I was like, but I made the money. That's the whole point of getting lucky off of a meme coin that takes off, is you need to grab that money, and then you could reinvest it into Bitcoin. You can put it in the stock market with dividends. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. But that really opened my eyes to how crazy the social media world can be, because I was like, no, I just want to make money.
Always be
selling. Good on you.
Yeah,
that's good on you. And you know, that's what I don't understand. Everybody talks about how they want to make money in this space. They follow you. They listen to what you say. They do what you do. They get involved in what you're involved in. And then when people sell, they scream and cry and complain. And it's like, look, that's what we're all here for. It's to sell. It's to cash in on it. It's to diversify it into something else. It's to buy another asset. It's to put it in something else. It's to move it around. People, I don't understand why people get so angry at people selling their crypto.
None of us have the advantage of having a Berkshire Hathaway to just collect companies and then chop them up into little pieces and sell people stocks of Berkshire Hathaway shares, right? We need to get our and the crazy thing is you told them what you were going to do prior to you doing it.
I told him at like a nickel.
Yeah,
right.
Like
it's coming. Like it's coming, guys. I'm selling.
Well, what happened was, so it went for 50 cents, then it dropped down to 45, but like literally like a day later, it had jumped up to 65 cents. And everybody's like, see, you sold too early. Look at all the money you could have made if you would have just held. But I was like, I still made money, and it hit 60 cents, which means I sold more, and I made money on top of that as well. But yeah, I used to have a PO box. Yeah.
That's another dumb shit point to make. These, it's like, oh, you should have, you could. Nobody knew yesterday what the fuck was going to happen. And everybody's like, oh, see, you missed the top. Oh, you're dumping at the bottom. And you never know what the next day is going to be, whether it's going to be up or down or red or green. Nobody knows. And hindsight's 2020. So all these armchair quarterbacks that get out there and tell you should have held it for another week and this and that. And it's like, okay, you held it for another week. Did you sell? No, I sold it and it went back down anyway.
Yeah, round trip my bag.
Yeah, it's round tripped, and I didn't take my own advice, and they never do because nobody knows. They're just making their own emotional decision whether they're going to hold or sell. And you had a plan.
An example, an exact thing of why you should take those profits when you see them. Nobody knew that freaking Iran was going to get a stack of bombs thrown at it today, right? And right now everything's down.
Somebody did.
there are some, but there's a whole bunch of people out there right now looking at giant red candles and wishing they sold yesterday according to their plan. Right.
See, this is the thing. I saw Bitcoin breaking down last night, so I opened up a short position on it. But I saw it bouncing off support earlier today. So I was like, you know what? It's kind of hitting my price target pretty close to it. Let me just sell right now because I know my sister's coming into town later on tonight. My grandma's coming over later on tonight. So I'm like, I got to get ready for this stuff. And then like a couple hours later, I was streaming, and all of a sudden one of my subscribers was like, hey, Michael, Iran's getting bombed by Israel. This isn't fake. This is real. And I was like, for real? I start looking through all the news and I was like, oh my God. And then you see Bitcoin keep on going down even more. And one of my subscribers was saying like, hey, see, aren't you mad that aren't you mad that you closed your short so soon? And I was like, I still made money. I'm happy with the money I'm making. I can't anticipate Iran getting bombed like that, right? No, it's just such a hard thing to do.
No, everyone thinks you're clairvoyant. You got a freaking crystal ball or some shit. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard when people say shit like that. It's like,
and you got family coming in, right? And I'm a firm believer. If I'm going on vacation, if my parents are coming in town, or if I'm going up to see them, whatever that is, I don't want to worry about some meme coin that's going on. Of course, Bitcoin is not a meme coin, but a short position could be considered a meme coin in some fashions, right?
Short position is something you want to stay on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys were looking at it earlier today. There was a bunch of servers going down all across the
world.
And I was like, this is not the proper time to be trading right now anyway. Because what if the exchange I'm using somehow uses Google software or Amazon software? I just don't know. And I don't want to be stuck in a trade because then, sure, they might pay me back, but it may take me like weeks or months for that type of thing to happen, right? So I was just like, you know what? That on top of family, I'm okay just pulling out for a little bit,
100%.
Yeah. Let me finish up and catch up on the chat real quick. Make sure we don't have any questions because I'm lagging. So 404 Mon says, best place to onboard is in the lounges. We agree, man. We all agree. Tyndale, how you doing? Who else is in here? We got Dorsey. Hey, what's up, Dorsey? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Dorsey. Moondog's in here too. Texas friend. David Sorwack, what's up? Great conversation. Yeah, every time we get in front of this, and have a cigar. Let's see. Somebody's in New York City. 404 is in New York City. We do Connecticut like last time. Doug, I love the Edge too. Yep.
Good call.
Membership. That's a good cigar. Sandy Beach, my lady, what's happening? Welcome. Here to show my new coin. Okay, Tyndale. Who else we got in here? I'm just going to call you Lucky. Based. Okay. All right. And Dorsey, I don't do the cigar thing, but I could go big fat doobie today. Hey, we'll light it up, man. Light it up. Robert Kelleher, he's going to look at his crystal ball. Yep. And hopefully if you do have one, let me know. All right. Rough day today, 9 months. Yeah, I know, Dorsey. Our best to you, my man. Our best to you. All right. We are caught up on the chat room. So everybody enjoying their stick so far? I sure am. This Don Pepin, man, these cigars, every single one of them I've ever had has just been phenomenal.
Red Meat Lovers is always fire.
My local cigar shop is like the Thunderbird Trading Post. Right now, I've been buying up a lot of My Fathers from them because they're having a My Father safe giveaway where the rep got a big old gun safe. And he's like, hey, if every time you buy like $50 worth of My Fathers, you get one raffle ticket. And I think at this point, I have like 6 raffle tickets. And I've been really liking those My Father Lanceros. Those things have been a big surprise for me.
I haven't tried one.
They're delicious. I was surprised they were delicious because normally I just never see them anywhere. I never really see Lanceros in many spots. I have a few upstairs, but they're random brands that maybe people have gifted me boxes over the past. And I just I don't know if I'm risky enough to try just yet. Look, give it a little bit of age, you know. But those Lanceros, they're delicious.
Yeah, this one really is. Garcia, they don't mess around. They always put out a good
gun safe. And My Father's captain is about ready to book a flight.
I'm on my way. It's a My Father safe, so it's got the logo on it, or
yeah, My Father logo on it. And I think I think the day after the competition, or they announce it, there's going to be a cigar event thrown by My Father at the horse races up in I think Auburn, from where I live.
Dang.
Yeah, they rent out. We get to have like a picture with the winner's circle. It's like $200, and you get like 30 cigars. And he gives you a bunch of free cigars. Wow. I think I have like 10 My Father little those little
bundles?
cheap those little cheap ashtrays. Got a bunch of those. Nice. Yeah, Matt's the rep up here. He's a great guy.
Robert and Foxy's in here too. What up, Foxy? Foxy and Robert. Good to see you.
Judge is one of my go-tos with My Father. I got a box in the humidor mellowing out right now, and I love those cigars. Now the one I want to get my hands on is they just had it at PCA. They had the My Father Blue, and I haven't seen one out yet. They were supposed to have launched them like last month, right around PCA, but it's a new one coming out, and it's probably a limited edition. But it's a My Father Blue, and I just haven't seen one anywhere yet, nor online.
I'm looking it up online because I really want to see what it looks like. Oh, they don't even have a picture of it. I like those special ones that you find every now and again, and they're the rep gives them to me. They like have a red band on them. I don't know exactly what they're called.
Is that the Centurion?
No, it's like a deep red band. I wish I could show a picture if I knew what it was. But every now and again he pulls out like a box of like 7 different sizes of it. But he says he only gives them away when he goes to like PCA and things like that. But I've never been there. I don't have that type of credentials. The best I can do is Big Smoke.
Yeah.
Dude.
Big Smoke would be good.
Yeah. Tell everybody what that is. Not everybody probably knows what Big Smoke is.
Oh, it's just where a bunch of cigar enthusiasts get together in Vegas and they just chat out on some good food, get a boatload of cigars, and just chill with other people that like cigars. And then you have to spend a week cleaning your clothes afterwards. Yeah, it's a really fun time.
Now they also have like it's kind of a tobacco thing too, right? Don't they have like everything tobacco there, or is it just cigars?
Every now and again you see them there. I don't necessarily do much besides cigars. I guess I do have a pipe, wherever my pipe. Oh yeah, I do. It's right here. Yeah. I do have one of those Mershon pipes, but I haven't smoked out of it for a minute. There's a nice lady that runs a cigar lounge or cigar shop in Seattle. Her name is Stacy, and I help her out with some of her social media every now and again, and she basically just gives me unlimited amounts of tobacco. I just don't smoke pipes that much, so I never take advantage of it. But it's really nice. I mean, I enjoy smoking. It's just that this requires so much more work than this. This, you gotta take it apart, clean it, maintain it. You can't see in there, but it's like just black,
Yeah.
So RG3 can give you some info about his observation that more and more cigars are being made from pipe tobacco.
Pipe
and
tobacco.
he started rolling his own too, wrapping his own.
Yeah. I started rolling my own cigars, and but the pipe tobacco thing, and actually Steve Saka is one of the guys who's been talking about. He does that. Like his favorite is he rolls his own and he uses pipe tobacco in them. And some of his cigars now are, I guess, because of the flavored tobacco laws, pipe tobacco and some of these cigars that have these flavorings in them, I guess you would say, are passing the sniff test. So they're not being put in that category as flavored tobaccos, because in California they're pulling stuff off the shelf, cigars, vapes, you name it. They're pulling it off the shelves and telling them, they have a certain amount of time to get them off the shelves. And they're going into stores. I was in a store the other day. It was all empty on one section. He's like, what happened? He said they came in and pulled all the shit out. All I could sell is clear vape that has no flavor in it.
That's a solid white ash you got there, Crispy.
You like that, do you, baby?
Yeah, very similar. Yeah, very
Look
good.
at that. That Rojas.
My ash is hard, man.
You got hard ash. Got a hard ash game there. Your ash game is on. So let's throw props out to Rojas. Got a good burn line. Got a good
nice.
white ash.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're a pretty good brand, man. I like them a lot. They gave me a hat, so I love them. That's my price. One hat.
So really,
the original reason why I started going after red meat lovers is because they had a Bigfoot statue that they were that they were giving out as a premium if you bought a box. Or back then it wasn't coming as a box; it was coming as a whole bundle that was wrapped in butcher paper, right? So I said I got to get me one of those Bigfoots, and I still have the Bigfoot statue somewhere. He's holding a cigar.
nice. Yeah, I like all the swag, that you get from cigar shows, shops, and whatnot is definitely good swag. Lighters, cutters.
This is my pulse chain 369 flask.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Yeah, I'm gonna fill that with cold brew, I think, because I'm a non-drinker.
So I'm a non-drinker, and so I kind of had a hard time putting those in the VIP bags, but I got talked into it. So it looks like even the non-drinkers are enjoying them.
I don't know what I'm going to put in it. Having a nice little thing of cold brew while you're walking around might.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, a couple shots of espresso in there, Yeah.
So
travel to your house and have you bust me out some shots with that contraption of yours and fill it up.
Yeah, check this out, RG3. This is my lighter. My Rojas lighter, baby.
Oh, I love those styles.
It is a Rojas lighter. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. Nice torch.
So you got a lighter and a hat?
Oh yeah. I got like bunches of these. I had to throw them back. I was like, nah, I don't want any more. I mean, how many lighters can I have? Well, I got like 30 of them.
To your buddy in California, that's how many you could have. I would take a Rojas lighter all day long.
We can arrange a trade.
Yeah, we can.
I'll put it on Zoo X Bistro, baby.
Yeah, put an NFT in there. There you go.
We'll do a little bit of trading. Yeah. Hey, I'm really curious. I want to know, man. I got to know, Michael. How did you meet SJ? How did this come about that you suddenly appear on my screen?
So I typically, during the Bitcoin conferences, there's like an influencer cycle where like all the influencers are all in like different Telegram groups depending on like your seniority, and then they'll just say, hey, these people want influencers at their party to make content and cover it. And I was like, oh yeah, I've been to this I've been to this Mike Tyson house a few times so far. It's definitely a good time. Anybody that throws a party there is always going to have a blast. And I was like, do I want to go to a party where I have to kind of dress up a little bit more and it's more like refined and business like, or do I just want to chill? And at that point, I had not had any sleep for like 36 hours because the one time I wanted to get sleep, my neighbor's dog got out. So I spent a few hours helping him get his husky back. And so I wanted somewhere where I could chill, where I know they have lounge chairs and I can just smoke. And then I saw one of my friends there, started talking, and then met SJ there, and I was smoking a cigar. And she's like, "Oh, I love cigars," you know. And I was like, "Oh, you want one?" So I opened up my little travel pack, and there was like 7 Davidoffs, and then I was like, "Take your pick." I love Davidoffs right now. I usually go brand by brand and just smoke as much stuff. Like right now, I bought the Davidoff Royal Blue, which I can't wait to try, and then this place up in Seattle that Stacy woman owns it. She has like cigars from like the 90s, 80s. Like she just has old cigars there.
Wow.
Everything you can imagine, like she has it. And I just got about a month ago a 2010 Davidoff Ginza. And I don't know what scenario I want to smoke that, but I cannot wait to try. I'm going to smoke it at the Rose City, like a Portland City Cigar Festival that they're having in July. That's when I'm going to smoke it. But yeah, I just like to party basically in Vegas, and I'll typically just bring cigars and smoke because I usually smoke a couple cigars a day. I usually smoke like 4 or 5 cigars a day, but I've been trying to slow it down. I have, as my doctor would put it, severe ADHD. So I can go through these things in a freaking heartbeat if I'm not careful.
Congratulations. I got that too. Hey, you know, that's a cool story. We talked about this a few weeks ago on one of the shows. That's a pretty normal occurrence, meaning that you go someplace and somebody's like, "Oh man, I love your cigar," and people will just be like, "Cigar karma, man." They just hand them out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like that's what I would do. If I only had one, I'm smoking it. I have let somebody bogart before, but I mean that's a little weird, right, these days. But
yeah,
you know, meaning let them take a few puffs off of my wet, soggy cigar, right? But generally, like if I had a box or something or I had a supply, man, I just hand them out. Somebody will be like, "Hey, I like your cigar." Hey,
so wait. He still did. You told us about a party and crypto and all. You didn't say anything about how you met SJ, our producer.
No, what do you call? I think she might have been talking to my friend Bryson, who told me to come over to him, and then she was talking with him, and I just said hello, and then I think the interaction was maybe less than 2 minutes, and I kind of went on smoking cigars. It was a very fast interaction. But I just made sure to get the telegram, get the network, and then boom, next day, we were talking about cigars. She was telling me about I got to try this place. I didn't get to try it. In Fuego in Vegas, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I haven't got a chance to try that. I was trying out. What did I try this time? Triple Crown and Tap and Ash. I always love going to Tap and Ash. And so yeah, it was a very quick little thing, and I was just like, oh yeah. And then she said, hey, we're going to be doing a show. Do you want to watch? And I was like, oh, sure, yeah. So I just listened to the show for a little bit and had a good time. And when she invited me here, I was like, oh, yeah, definitely. I've been smoking cigars. I'm like literally I have an ashtray here all the time in case I want to smoke normally. It just depends on what type of mood I'm in. And then, you know, how smoky I want my house to be. Because I got my sister coming over and my grandma coming over later on tonight. And they're going to be like, smells a little funky. And I'm like,
what's that smell? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're just stopping by for a second.
That's why it's my house, not yours. Yeah.
Exactly.
They got those really nice indoor air filters now. You put one of those and it almost takes all the smoke out of the room and the smell and everything.
I want to buy one of those rabbits. I keep on hearing about the rabbits.
A rabbit. Yeah, that's a good one.
I need to get another one. I
have one of the circle ones with the big circle smoke cartridges. It's about that big around. It's big. It's right over there, and it's very, very quiet. I can run it while on stream.
Yep. So we got, let's see, we got Pesky Girl's in there letting us know she's in there rolling blunts. All right, Pesky Girl, you go ahead and you have at it. It's close enough to a cigar as far as we're concerned, whatever floats your boat. Robert Kelleher's, hey, you guys need to get some of that cigar manufacturers coming onto the show. Yeah, we're working on some of that stuff. We got lounge people that we met like last week or 2 weeks ago, was it, that we gave away the tickets? Or do we still have the tickets, SJ? Or did we give those away? I'd like to mention our friends again. So we got friends in Canada who have a cigar lounge, and we met them at a cigar lounge. And when he handed me a cigar, told me about his lounge, just as that was his brand, his house brand, rolled. And he is having a cigar cruise in Toronto. So anybody that's in the chat, anybody's in Toronto, I think we still have tickets. 2 tickets to go out on a cruise, sponsored by this cigar lounge, and it's a cigar cruise. And they go out there by the big Toronto Space Needle and drive around the bay there and smoke cigars. So anybody from Toronto, we got some tickets for you. We've been trying to give them away, and hopefully we still have time. Let's see, 404 Mom. We all know what Arnold said about smoking in the house. Yeah, I can't pull it off, man. I just cannot do it. Something about so when you're smoking a cigar, you're in it and you're in it, or even when you're in a lounge, it just smells so good. It's so nice. But then afterwards,
yeah,
clothes have that smell. The inside of your house has that smell. But I'll tell you what, I still like the smell of my hand afterwards for some reason. I'll be like, oh, that was a good one. Yeah, it was.
Mr. Chaos is up there too. How you doing,
Johnny?
Mr.?
Oh, did I miss Johnny?
Yeah, you did.
Oh man, my bad. Looks like we need a cigar stock. I bet they buy a lot of cigars. The charts start looking better. Yeah, a lot of people have tried to do like the NFT thing. I just think it's too gimmicky, and it's not necessary. You got to find a better way to make it work within the industry. Eventually, here, me and Triple Dad have been talking about a couple of things and doing some stuff, but it's gotta hit the market right. People are
all the ideas we had so far are force feeding one or the other. You're either force feeding cigars on the NFT people, or force feeding NFTs on the cigar people. There needs to be a happy medium there somehow.
It's got to be. Now the diesel with the stubborn fool, the what's the other one? There's 3 fools that they have. They had a little thing where there was a game attached to it, which was an NFT. It was kind of a little deal where they had a little promotion like that. But again, like you said, you're either force feeding NFTs or crypto into the cigar space, or you're force feeding cigars into the crypto space. So they do marry well. Like I said, going into a lounge and talking. I mean, the culture itself, what crypto is to finance, cigars are to the tobacco industry. Crypto is there as a disruptive technology, but cigars are there, and they're being disrupted by the rest of the tobacco industry, because the tobacco industry has such a horrible name because of, again, we'll say it again, cigars are different. Cigars are natural. Cigars are only tobacco. Cigars are not as, again, not condoning smoking, not telling everybody, hey, you're going to be healthy if you smoke. But there's something about your health and being able to relax and have a moment to yourself. They are showing that there's benefits to nicotine. And we don't inhale. I'm not saying that it doesn't, get in your mouth, get in your lungs, but it does, but not to the extent that the carcinogens in these vapes and these cigarettes get into your body. It's a different risk, and it's a different industry. This industry was built by families that have been around for hundreds of years, and with the ceremonial herb that us Indians have been using for thousands of years and having respect for it. And so every time I sit down and have a cigar, it's kind of like prayer for me. So it's there's health benefits to that, as far as I'm concerned, to my mental health.
Also, when you go to a cigar lounge, your batting average talking to people that are in crypto go up, right? As opposed to if you were to try to have those same conversations with people walking out of a grocery store, let's say, right? There's a lot of people that are into cigars and crypto at the same time. I love that.
Look at DGen Protocol, of course, my man. What's happening, buddy? The black sheep himself, load my cigars with marijuana. Yeah, we got a lot of that. Hey, again, whatever floats your boat, and that's good. That is good. We got Tyndall's in there. What's up? Love you guys. We love you too. Go have a cigar and relax, buddy. So yeah, there's a lot of similarities, and like you say, you're every time I go into a lounge and I'm sitting there talking, it always comes up, what do you do? Who are you? What's your thing? And and it's crypto, and it's, to these people, it's intriguing. They want to listen. They want to know about it. They want to talk about it. They always know some guy that has some, or told them about Shiba Inu, or told them about Doge, or told them about Bitcoin, and it's like, well, yeah, those things are all great and all, but and Michael, the three of us here, we're DeFi junkies. Like, we are all about self-custody, DeFi, making crypto better, being on the cutting edge of the new technologies that are coming out, and also trying to stay away from centralization, as we see crypto not even creep into centralization, but running towards crypto centralization or centralization. We're trying to hold the line, and talk to people about self-custody, and talk to people about DeFi protocols, talk to people about DEXs, and not your keys, not your coins. And, look at technologies that have been running for a long time, that are, not rug pulling, not going down, not having the same issues that centralized cryptos do. So that's what we are. We're real DeFi junkies, and that's kind of what we talk about around here.
To have self-custody of Dogecoin back in the day, that was a feat. That was not freaking easy at all.
No, it wasn't. It was not. And you know what? We were able to put it on that Exodus wallet, weren't we?
Yeah.
That's what I had. I had the Exodus wallet.
And I was following Jeff Berwick at the time too, right? So I had the Ogre wallet pirate chain thing as well. I went through the whole freaking thing.
I really like that. I think it's what it was called. Was that what it is called? Exodus?
Exodus, yeah.
Yeah, I like that wallet. That was a good wallet. I don't know if it's still around.
What's up, MVS?
Hey, what's up, MVS? Hey guys, so many legends in the same screen. Yeah, we got Michael here.
Yeah.
I'm simple. I just like to trade. It's nice. I dabbled in options before I came over to cryptocurrency, so I knew a little bit about the discipline you need behind the trading, but crypto just was options on a whole other level. I mean, I see exchanges nowadays. You can trade Bitcoin with like 400, 500% leverage, and I'm just like, who would do something so crazy? But people do it, and I'm always shocked. And this is why I always try to tell my people and my community. A lot of influencers will do that because they're looking to just make as much money off of you as possible. Because like most people don't know how a lot of the cryptocurrency influencers that promote exchanges, how exactly they make money. I'm pretty transparent with it. Like an exchange will say, hey, we'll give you a cut of all the fees. So like if you guys sign up beneath my link, I would never I would never get a payment for you guys just signing up. But let's say you're trading all day and you pay about $100 in fees. I might make about 50 to 75 bucks out of that, right? And I'm just I'm a larger influencer, but not like a big one that has a massive following that's like following my every word, And so what you see though is you see those influencers say, oh my God, we're going to the moon today, but they say it like every freaking day, or we're going down every single day. And what that does is that makes people do trades, which means more money in their pocket. And I just say, hey, since I like to do options trading, why not just buy and then hold for a week as you see that trend coming up, and don't worry about the day trading as much. Have some fun. If you want to day trade, you can day trade. All right, it's just a little bit more challenging, but just do that little buy low, sell high, take whatever money you get, pocket it, reinvest it, and your portfolio will grow instead of having to do trade after trade after trade after trade. But then at the same time, you have to worry about the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm will promote you a lot if you are like, oh my God, we're going to the moon today, buy everything today. Because people watch for longer, they get more excited, they comment more, there's more engagement. So it's like a weird system of a lot of the YouTubers that are good at trading, they're usually going to be a little bit more boring, like myself. But like a crypto face, a little bit more boring. But the more hyper ones, they don't necessarily trade. They just want the volume off of your trades. It's a weird ecosystem we have going on right now, and the government doesn't know about it. Most people don't know about it, but it's an interesting system.
One of those guys is behind bars right now, isn't he? Isn't BitBoy?
I'd be BitBoy. Yeah. I just saw his ex-girlfriend, now Cassie, at the Omnia event over in Vegas when they got it was the Tron event. Sorry, the Tron event. They booked out Omnia, and I saw her there, and I was like, "Where's BitBoy?"
we had BitBoy on our show. He came to our event. He and I have talked a lot, and we've done some political stuff in the background. But of course, he lost his shit recently. But I gotta say, Michael, like you kind of walked into the lion's den. And I'm definitely, not gonna, get after you, because what you just said just kind of validated what we have been speaking against for the last 6 years on our channels and in our community, and zero against you, zero. You're doing and you're doing a great job at it, and you're saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm transparent, and and we've seen a lot of these people that aren't. We've seen a lot of the like our buddy BitBoy. We know what he's done, what his channel's done, what they've had to do out there, and all of the hype that they've put behind this, and then they'll rug pull, and then they won't say nothing about it. I mean, look at box mining. Box mining was doing that over and over and over again, and just brush it under the rug, and then come fight with us and tell us that we were the ones that were screwed up. We literally are anti-trade, anti-leverage, we're about going out there, and we're about proof of stake, staking coins. We're from what's called the Hex community. We were birthed onto the scene by Richard Hart. A lot of people have a lot of hard time with him, and we've been out, talking about his DeFi protocols, and so we've been anti-trade for a long time. And again, like I said, that's nothing against you. You just kind of like validate what we've always said. It's like, hey, these guys are trying to wash you out, man. They are not there to help you. They're there to get you to trade. They're there to get you to push the numbers up. Win, lose, or draw. They don't care, because they're going to make money off you, win, lose, or draw. And that's what they're doing,
Yeah.
Well, I would say this though about Pulse Chain. It's a very diverse environment and a very diverse group of people, and they are definitely traders, right? So what you're describing is that, coming at it from this angle that we came at it with Hex, right? We were doing a longer time frame than Michael mentioned, but that the idea was time in the market, not time in the market and not trading, right? Time in the market, and getting people to hold their tokens. So that things would have time to perk up,
That's a good looking pup, Mike. What's his name? Her name?
Loki. He's a guy. He turns 4 next month. He sees my grandmother's here. So he's like, hey, you see she's here? She's here.
Good looking guy.
Yeah, but he what he calls. He's just lovable pup. He you can tell he's been rolling around in dirt from his back being all dirty here. But He's a good boy. He loves being on camera, and he just loves being spoiled. That's basically him. He's besides cigars, he's my second biggest budget. Yeah, big playful guy. Big playful
That's
guy.
awesome.
Yeah, I literally moved out of downtown so I could actually have like a house with a yard for him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I have too.
Oh, now he's all hyper focused on other people in the house. He's like, "What's going on?" Ooh, there you go.
I'll tell you what, These Lanceros do not hold an ash, that's for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, and sometimes when we take our stuff and we LP it, right? That's a form of trading if you look at it in a different way, right? We're playing
it's a lower risk, yeah.
Yeah, we're playing both sides of that scale, and getting the fees in between. That's
well, they're just they're just different. They're different financial tools. Staking is a different financial tool. Liquidity providing is just another tool. They're just, all of these are just different risk tools. Trading is fine. But most people can't do it. Most people get wrecked. Most people, like Michael, comes from the real world of trading, where he knows all of the he knows all of the strategies and the tactics, but to apply them in this market, he's probably found it extremely difficult, extremely nuanced. Like there's a lot of volatility here. So trading here is much different than trading in real world. You've got a lot of people out there that don't understand, the strategies and tactics that people like Michael do. And they're out there getting wrecked on a regular basis. More people are getting wrecked than are making money. That's for sure.
Yeah. What's interesting is so obviously when I have the least amount of people watching my channel is usually in that crypto winter when nobody wants to buy it, afraid we're just going to keep on going down and Bitcoin's going to eventually hit zero. But I usually start telling people I start buying Bitcoin when it starts to break down below the 100 or the 150 weekly moving averages, because it's a technique that I've carried over from the big tech companies. Anytime you see Amazon cross down below that, I used to just buy up a bunch, wait about a year, sell it off for a real good chunk of profit
100%.
over and over and over again. But people don't want to have those long-term horizons. And they keep on forgetting that if you invest, that money compounds as you keep on bringing in more and more money. It might take some time, but if you start when you're 18 years old, and let's say you start with $100, you can get that growing as you invest more and more money, put some aside, whatever you want to do. It's just that people, they want to go into options. They want to go into heavy leverage. So one of the ways that I've seen a lot of people come into cryptocurrency, especially for trading, is they have a 9 to 5. They're on the West Coast, and they literally cannot trade the market day because of where they live. Right?
Yeah.
So they're forced to go to crypto because it's 24/7. After the 9 to 5, after they have their dinner, they do whatever the work they got to do. Say goodnight to the wife. Then they hop on the computer. Then they start practicing trading and doing all that type of stuff. But I say there's an even easier way of doing that, where you work on the weekends and then you do the swing trades, because you can buy, hold for a few days to a few weeks, for a few months, and then the money, especially in a bull market, if you just hold, it's going to go up. But people just don't want to do that. They want that instant, almost blame cell phones and all this modern technology. We want that dopamine hit of making money, right? Yeah. So I tell people, if you want to do that, just trade with a paper account and you'll be okay, right? But that goes to what I was talking about earlier with how influencers work. Maybe you guys know this, maybe you guys don't, but so I learned this back in 2021 when I was working with BitGet. So they offered me a commission. I did a deal with them, and I was trading, and I was just showing people how I like to trade and stuff like that. And after a while, I was getting more people to sign up. So they offered me something I didn't even know was possible. They, and I think a lot of exchanges do this now as well, they will make you a fake account with fake money so you can trade with $100,000, $200,000 and make it look like you're really stacking the cash in order to get more people to sign up and get more volume. And meanwhile, you have no risk because you're really not trading, right? So you're just getting people to buy and sell and doing the volume. So there's a whole crazy ecosystem built around this stuff. And I think it's just important people that they know it exists. I talk about it, but I don't have a massive following, right? So it doesn't really penetrate. And then most of the other creators, you can make really good money from an exchange if they give you a retainer and high commissions, and you just say, I'm buying today, or the biggest bull move of your life is happening tomorrow. It's they figured out the way to do it.
Following that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's like the ran the man crypto banter, right? As soon as Sheldon the sniper used to come on, green candles would start, right? And if you have an account like that, you're printing money.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't even get me started on how they make money with the meme coins. See, I think meme coin promoting should be illegal because of how it actually works. So you'll see an influencer just randomly start talking about a meme coin that they think can explode, not knowing that whoever made the meme coin, the people behind it, they already gave that influencer an allocation, and they can sell it whenever they want to. I think the biggest thing was more recently, I guess people thought about the Hawk Tua situation and how crazy that all blew up. I remember seeing her in Nashville, and I remember her agent dude just standing around and doing all these little side conversations. And then I was like, she's coming out with her own token now, and it was like, this is not going to end well. And then I felt bad for her in a certain way because she didn't know much about cryptocurrency at all.
She didn't know what was happening.
Yeah. And then her portion of the cryptocurrency was locked as part of the promotion. She just got paid, I think it was like $100-something thousand, $200,000 up front, cash. And then promoted it, and you just saw drop like a rock. And she had no idea what happened, why it was happening. And you saw in that the X spaces, right? Where you had all the real guys that can track all of the data, just saying, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. And it was just pure chaos. But usually nothing is that big. It's usually like it runs up to 50 million, 100 million, then it crashes, then it rugs. You don't want it to become too big. Otherwise, you start to see the eyes of the government and things like that involved, right? Like what happened with Hawk Tua. You don't want to be that big.
Yeah. Didn't the lady who that mother effer is not real? That lady on the plane. Didn't she have a coin too?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I thought she got involved in something. I can't remember.
And she may not have had it herself. Maybe somebody else did it with her meme on it.
With her meme on it.
Likeness.
I mean, I treat memes as like going to the casino and pulling a slot. You know?
Yeah.
Except for you can hold it for longer. It's more fun. You know what I mean? But I just say it's the same thing for me as gambling. That's basically what it is.
And that has its place too, you know, just like Vegas has its place, you know. But you know what I've done, you know, in influencing out there, you know, we all have a little different, you know, take on this space and how we promote DeFi and what we do. You know, Crispy here is the man with the numbers. He's looking at the numbers. He shows everybody's numbers. He has the sites that show all the numbers of the DeFi cryptos that we're involved in. You know, Triple Dad here, he's built protocols on the DeFi platform that we all promote. And then me, I'm kind of just a thought leader that tries to talk sense into people and let them know that, you know, I don't speak ill about, you know, trading. I warn people about trading. I warn people about their risk that they're putting themselves in. You know, hey, where are you at in your life? What is your, you know, your risk threshold? Who are you in this space? How much can you afford to go out and gamble with? Are you gambling with your whole bag? Are you using staking protocols that are decentralized, that are generating yield for you? What are you doing as far as protecting yourself in the space and self-custodying and staying away from centralization and staying away from all this other stuff that you're talking about? You know, and that's why I've never been offered a deal by anybody, because I'm, you know, railing against all this stuff constantly, you know, and I don't have a lot of followers, but I got a decent amount. If they saw, they, you know, hey, if I had a chart behind me and I was talking about numbers and hyping shit up, I would have got deals too. I mean, the ones that have come, I've just blown it off and whatever, didn't even entertain it. But I mean, it's you know, we're a little different in how we approach this. And, you know, I think that, you know, and you being from the financial world, you know, that's how people are spoke to. Like, you know, what is your risk tolerance? You know, what can you afford to go into the market with? And, you know, anybody who's out there shorting things, you know, they know what they're doing as far as how much assets that they own are in that high of a risk, you know, category. And that's the things that people don't talk about much. And especially when we have so many young people here that are looking for that instant gratification, for that one shot to hit, you know, become a millionaire or whatever. When in all actuality, they should be, you know, taught the whole space and shown the value of the whole space, and you know, why trading isn't everything.
Yeah, because they got their Robinhood account because they saw GameStop, right? That's that whole thing. They see these freaking giant green candles just going up forever, and they think that there's going to be another one of those right around the corner. But traditionally, more so the guys who come from traditional finance, like you, Michael, that's where you started, have a little bit better strategy, right?
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, I still fell for some of those same traps. I remember when I was in college, when I was going for marketing, I had got a Robinhood account, and then I joined a Discord group, and it was a guy, I think it was called Normac Trading or something like that. And this guy traded penny stocks, right, with large amounts of just straight money, no leverage, but penny stocks. And there was a split in his group because he wanted to make his group paid, and it was a big group at the time. And he split with another group, and the other group became Atlas Trading. And I don't know if you guys know, a few years ago, Atlas Trading got deleted off of Discord. It had like over a couple 100,000 members because they were loading up on what do you call it? Not meme coins, but penny stocks, and then telling their audience they were buying it, watching it go up, and they were using the audience as the X liquidity. And the government found out about it, and they hit hard. And I was like, oh my God, I've talked to all these people numerous times. And all of a sudden, like, a couple years later, I see that they're all getting indicted for all this stuff. And I was like, see, that kind of straightened me out to like going back to like, I'm just going to go the slow way. And the slow way worked. Like, again, maybe it's just the ADHD in me, but those simple patterns, like the 100 or the 150 weekly moving average, if you pull up an Apple chart, an NVIDIA chart, or any like actual growth tech stock, and you just buy it when it starts to have those massive crashes, don't buy Boeing with it or something like that. But but a tech stock that they're doing well, you can look at their 10K reports, you can see they have growth, you can see they have a plan, all that good stuff. You ride that wave. Back when I was in college as well, I was doing Uber as a part-time job because like my first job in Montana was like $8 an hour. It was horrible. So I was like, let's go make some more money doing Uber. And I picked up this guy that worked for like a subsidiary of like Morgan Stanley. And he was giving me some general investing advice. He's like, hey, don't worry about the day trading right now. You're going to if you want to learn that, it's going to take a couple of years. For now, just start loading up on some of those things that you know are going to work out. And I was like, well, what's going to work out? And he's like, the number one thing I tell all of my clients to invest in is Visa. So I started loading up on Visa. And man, Visa has just been going up and up and up. Every time there's a little fee for somebody swiping a card, they get their cut. And I mean, they've been making a lot of money off of that. Same with MasterCard, any of that type of stuff. So, it was a bunch of trial and error, but I fell for a lot of those same traps in the beginning. So I just tell people, well, start slow, do the swing trading first, do the long-term investing first. If you really want to get into swing trading, start with a paper trading account. And then when you do with a paper trading account, this is where you have to start your own data collection, where you get a trading journal and you just start listing off all of your trades. If you get a nice one, it'll tell you like, how good you are at trading Microsoft versus Apple or Bitcoin versus Ethereum. And then you can see, well, I'm 75% profitable when it comes to Bitcoin, but I'm only maybe 55% profitable when it comes to Ethereum. Maybe I should stick to paper trading Ethereum, and maybe I can move over to trading real capital with Bitcoin. And you don't allow yourself to trade until the data says you're good enough. And then you got to readjust once you start having real money. The butterflies start kicking in. Then you start making mistakes again. Recalibrate. Go back to paper trading. Go back and forth. It's a process. People just don't want to do the process. But again, that's my process. That's my process personally.
Sounds like a good process.
Takes time. It takes time. Nobody wants to spend time.
Yeah. Sounds solid.
I bought everything that was launching and then dumped it the next day. That's the only way I ever do it. And it always seems to work out for whatever reason.
Yep.
I don't know why. It's like they all go up and then they all come down. So it's like, let it go up, sell it, and watch it roll down. On its way up, sell it. Anyway, I mean, it's almost like clockwork out here in the crypto space. It started out, I've been around this since 2014 as far as the trading rooms and stuff go. And it was Telegram. We had Telegram rooms, and they'd have one room with the masses of people that they'd bring in, and they'd pump a coin up and they'd go into that room. And then they had another room where the sharks and the whales all sat and, hey, we're going we're going to dump here. When we get to this point, we're going to hype it up here. Everybody get in, boom, boom, boom. And then there was another room with about 5 guys in it that were the whales that were like, hey, okay, this is what we're going to do. And it was just over and over and over watching it. And they're doing the same thing out there now. They're using YouTube and influencers and whatnot. And we've seen it over and over and over again. So it's really hard to use traditional TA to just get in there. And like you said, the 150 day, that's, you're looking at a macro view of things.
Yeah.
And that's different. You're looking at percentages that are, you're out there working a job, basically making money off of your trades and using those macro economic looks at your trades. And, I think that's that's probably the safest risk on strategy in that high risk, because let's face it, this is the most volatile marketplace that's ever existed, the cryptocurrency market.
Well, so I think it was 3 months ago, my audience was asking me to try to find some like really low market cap meme coins to buy. And so what I did was I put $100 together and I did like $10 increments on 10 different random meme coins to see if we could make any money or get lucky at all. And just to kind of see, okay, let's see what happens. Not one of them made me money. All of them are zero now. All of them are zero now. Sure, some of them might have went from like $10 to $50 or to $100, but I was hoping for something a little bit more. So I kept on holding, and all of a sudden fall off. And I was like, meme coins like that aren't for me. When they start wanting me to pull up DEX tools and stuff, and I'm like, I don't believe. I go in there thinking I'm not going to make money. Whereas it comes with like long-term investing, that's a lot more easier. That's a lot more simple. Especially if you're just going with Bitcoin. Primarily, I like trading Bitcoin. That's my bread and butter. Every now and again, I'll do a portfolio of leverage positions, but those are going to be something where I see the technicals are good, and ultimately I see that Bitcoin's doing good. Therefore, I can validate, buying up all these other meme coins, right? Or meme coin, or any token really. But if Bitcoin's good, I know usually everything else is going to flow along with it. Maybe I'll check out Benjamin Cohen's videos for like market dominance and see where it's at. We're still a little bit away from that, but
meme
it's
coins,
going home. It's going home.
You literally just have to go into the community rooms, X spaces, whatever, and you could almost gauge where a meme coin is going to go. You see the maximum hype going on. You see it launch. You're like, okay, well, this thing's about running itself out. It went up, 10, 20, 30x out, and it's almost that easy on those damn meme coins. And then they put a new one out again and again. And the same communities are in there stealing from each other's back pockets over and over and over again.
Well, I think one of the points that Michael made, which is really good, like, so I have my Robinhood still, and I had gotten it back in 19 and had started buying for, using their DCA approach, because they have these automated buys, right? Something that I'm looking for, something I'm building myself, right? On Pulse Chain now is just this ability to say, hey, set it and forget it. And I just want to keep buying, right? But it's all about expectations and that whole gratification thing. Like, man, dude, show me where I can get 20% every year against my capital without like outsized risk. That's fucking awesome, man. Like 20% a year is great, but now of course I'm in Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, but I mean in crypto, and like well, I'm thinking you're talking 50x, 100x's, 1000x's, and we got them, we see them, but they all come with different levels of risk,
Yeah, we could do 20% on stable coins.
Yeah,
no kidding, yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, there's even Trump token. When Trump token came out, I was asking my friend who had did some work on his NFTs, and I was saying, like, is this real? And he was like, I don't think so, because he was looking at the people that built the token and where all that money was coming from. I was like, these guys don't have a good history here. And so I decided to wait a couple hours. He came back to me and says, it's real. Okay. Now, by this time, the Trump token was all the way at $28. Okay. So it was nowhere near the bottom. But what I did, because I knew it was going to get hyped because it was like right before the inauguration, everybody was really excited, right? I did a 50x leverage play with a few $100 on Trump token at $28, and then it ran up all the way to like $70 something. And at 70, I was like, oh man, I should probably sell. So because I was like, I knew I was going to go to bed. So I put a stop loss at like $64. By the time I woke up, it was already like at $54, $53. And I was like, I'm really happy I just got out. Put that stop loss there and nothing else.
Oh,
And
you missed out, man. You didn't keep those diamond hands. It's 59.
Bro, it was still over 6,000% profit, and that's all I care about, right?
You missed out.
I mean,
that's $6, man.
I mean, imagine the people that keep on holding for $100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where do you go? Where else do you go? Oh, damn, only 6,000%.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
You'll get
crypto,
criticized for it too by your community. Your community will criticize you for only not holding long enough.
Well, there's such a divide still between no coiners and crypto, in that because it comes to the belief, right? And it's like once you believe, then you're like, no, I don't even wake up for 100x, right? Some people act that way, right? Like, wake me up when it's 1,000x, right? But the Bitcoin trade, as much as we may not like Bitcoin sometimes, some of us, right? Damn, man. I mean, you're up, so a couple 100% here over the last 4 years. All you had to do was wait for the bottom, buy and hold, and so it's easy.
Well, again, I started dollar cost averaging Bitcoin when it started to break down below that 150 weekly moving average of the 100. So my first buy-in for Bitcoin was around, I think, like $26,000. And I kept on buying all throughout the Celsius crashes and the FTX crashes. So my average at the end of the day was something around like $20,000, right?
Yeah.
And I just started to sell Bitcoin earlier last year when it hit around $80,000. So I was already and then it went up to 100,000. What it can go now? I'm about 35-40% out of my positions that I bought for Bitcoin back in 2022. And sure, if it keeps on going up, I'm good. But right now, my base level where I'm going to take my profit, if I don't like it, is going to be around like $50,000, $55,000. That's for like whatever Bitcoin I'm holding from 2022. I'm going to sell it all and just wait for the rest of the drop to finish off, and then rebuy back when it goes right back down below that moving average.
That's awesome.
Our resident Canadian says the hockey game is tied at 3-3.
That's amazing, because when I started this stream, the United States was up 3-0.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So that's amazing.
Hey, so Michael, what do you didn't no promises, but what are you looking at for Bitcoin? What do you think top price will be? I'm still thinking our founder, who had come out a couple of years ago and actually said 240. 240 is probably a reasonable top for Bitcoin, but with everything that's gone on over the last couple of years, maybe it will be doubled up. I don't know. For
me right now, as I look at Bitcoin, I severely underestimate Bitcoin every cycle. So right now, I'm thinking between like 150,000 to 200,000 bucks. In 2022, when I was giving the same prediction, I was saying around $120,000. So,
yeah. Well, that looked reasonable with the diminishing gains, but we're obviously pretty close to that already.
And what did Gary Gensler's out of the SEC? That makes life a lot easier.
I think we're probably looking at 250. I mean, if you think about. And you would probably be able to think like these folks are thinking, Michael, is that we've got centralized institutions, Fidelity, BlackRock, Michael Saylor, they all were buying at around 50,000, 50,000. I was watching them do OTC trades before things started run up. It might have even been a little lower than that. It was about a year ago when all this started. So they all got their positions. As soon as that got discovered, we saw a run up. We have yet to see retail ape in. We have not seen retail ape in yet. So for me, the bull market hasn't really started its, blow off top run, moving into the market. But what do you think that, so the major holders of Bitcoin now are these institutions. They ain't looking for a loss. They come in anywhere from, say, they probably got a premium on, or a discount on that price because they were OTC trading with, old Bitcoin wallets. What do you think? Somebody who's an institution like that's coming in, buying a few $1 billion worth of Bitcoin at 30, 40K. What do you think they're looking for a top? What do you think they're looking for to reposition themselves and move? If you were to look at it that way,
It'd be north of 200,000 easy. They would be looking for a serious investment. For me, it's just like the world is so freaking crazy right now. I just don't know. Like back in 2022, I think the market wanted to go higher, but it was just transitory, turned into a long-term inflation. Interest rates started to go crazy, and you just saw, exchanges like break down. They couldn't handle it, right? I don't think that type of thing will happen again. I'm not sure how much I trust exchanges when they come out with their Bitcoin reports and their holding reports, to be honest, but they're probably looking for around north of $200,000. Maybe I'd even say north of 225.
Yeah. Well, the status quo has been, every cycle has been for them to really pump up 3x whatever the high is going to be. So like this year it's 1 million, right? 1 million's the narrative. Bitcoin's going to 1 million. Don't sell your Bitcoin, right? Now, goddamn well they're selling their Bitcoin before it gets to 1 million, or a portion of it, right? Before it gets to 1 million. It ain't getting to 1 million.
Well, how do you think BlackRock got their Bitcoin?
It could go to 1 million as crypto. But what I'm saying is typically they set this far target out there. So people are like, I'm waiting for the million. I'm selling at 1 million, guys. I'm holding to 1 million. But then, they'll be exiting at the appropriate time for them to take profit. And then suddenly retail loses steam, right? Like normal.
Yeah.
And then we get the drop, and then they do the whole thing all over again. I don't see it as any different this time in what that is. Now, what is different though is, of course, BlackRock's different. MicroStrategy,
all the ETF stuff's a little different now, right? There's multiple players in that.
Yeah, so you may not see like the 88 or 85% drop, but you can be sure a 50% drop's coming.
Oh yeah.
And so and so the long time holders, the guys who are willing to hold this forever, they just got to steel their mind. If you think you're that person, you just better be ready. There's a 50% drop at least coming, right? Because that's a lot. That's a lot of what we see, right? People are like, hey, you got the guidebook when you came in. Crypto's risky. Don't invest more than you could afford to lose. Dips are in the game, right? And then the first time there's a dip, everybody's like, oh my God, the price went down. sell. And it's like, well, wait a minute. What happened to time in the market? You got to be in there for another 4 years, 8 years, man. Come back when it's 1 million.
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is that, BlackRock's not going to get rid of its positions, but they've got people that are coming in that have, positions to get out of. And of course, probably some of them are involved in it too. But that's what I was looking for. It's like, what would be the maximum return? Like if they were running this thing, everybody, the number that's been thrown around out there is 250 to 300, and people like Richard are saying it, people like, we've all kind of looked at it, and all the people that I've talked to about numbers, it's like 250 to 300 is where they got. So if everybody's thinking that, all of the retail is going to, see that, hear that, feel that as the blow off top starts going and we start seeing this thing go over 200K. And these guys are going to start exiting their positions like 225 or whatever. We'll see this thing roll up to 275, 250, 275. And then the big crash will come because it'll stop moving because all the guys that got in at 30K are moving out and getting out. And once they finally realize it, then retail's going to panic and dump.
And then that's where I like Michael's number then, right? I would be out at 225 and count my money while the rest of you guys are having sleepless nights looking at a chart. That's what I would be doing.
I'd start at 190 and just exit all the way out.
You should have saw me back in 2021 because remember we had those dual peaks. So I was mostly out by that first peak. And I was like, well, this is interesting. Yeah. Bitcoin's crashing down a lot. I was looking, so Bitcoin has this weird thing where it does where if if we're close to a death cross between the 20-week and 50-week moving averages, and it doesn't feel like the bull market is over yet, you're usually going to see Bitcoin spike around that area and have a big boom. I don't know why that happens. Another one is like, if you see the death cross between 50, the 20 moving average and 50, that usually indicates that there's a really bad move coming. But if you're looking at that bull market and you saw the economy is good, interest rates are fine, cuts are happening, some of that, I 9 times out of 10, I'll basically just load up right before there and then sell like maybe a month later, a month and a half later, and take my money and run. So I'm going to be looking for that over the next few months, like a year plus. And if that death cross starts to look imminent, oh man, I'm just going to be getting out. And but again, I've already sold off like 35% of my Bitcoin, and we can go much higher. If we go up to like 175, I'll be about 60 to 70% of all of my Bitcoin holdings that I bought back from 2022, right? So
yeah.
Right.
You use the golden ratio at all, or the pi indicator?
A little bit here and there. I'm not that good at it, so I don't use it too often. I'm more like my friends that are better at it. They kind of explain what's going on, and I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I just trust you.
Yeah. I like that GRM, the golden ratio multiplier. Guy by the name of Philip Swift had originally put that out in 2019. It's using a lot of the same types of types of methods you're talking about, but it's using the 350-day moving averages and multiples of that versus 111. And God, that thing just calls it, man. It just gets it so close. So I'm watching this time again to see how that plays out for Bitcoin, and then also for Ethereum, and how it might be affected. I don't know if it'll always work, but it's provided some great indications.
Yeah.
Like it predicted this ETH pump really nicely a few weeks ago, and buy signal came in, not sell, for that, and you would have been up pretty good before today. And then in the pulse chain, because we're tied pretty close over to ETH, we had a bunch of things pop off with similar buy signals based on that momentum.
My favorite way to trade altcoins right now is if an altcoin is close to a 2050 weekly or daily moving average, and it looks like Bitcoin is still bullish. Usually, even Bitcoin, when it crosses those moving averages, you see some really great volatility to the upside or to the downside if you like to short too. And I am hyper focused on trading during those times, and I'll be doing anywhere from 12-hour trades to 36-hour trades, and they're just beautiful things. Like even today, you saw Bitcoin had a big candle. Well, it also just broke down below its 20-day moving average, right? Now, sometimes you can't foresee that happening. Like right now, I saw there's like a second wave of missiles coming from Israel, right? But that first wave, I didn't even anticipate that we were going to break down below the 20. I thought we were going to bounce and then try to go up for a little bit more, then maybe eventually fall back down. But I was waiting until I was hoping that some of the inflation data that we got this week was going to be a little bit better for the markets, and it was good inflation data. It just wasn't enough, I guess, to keep the market kind of looking really nice and happy. But if you pull up any chart and you look at what happens when that sucker, there's few that don't do it, right? But most of them, 20-day moving average, 50-day moving average on the weekly charts or the daily, that volatility is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Even just Ethereum a couple of days ago, it was blasting above its moving averages, and you just saw that volume pick up like crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because people are watching the same numbers you are. I mean, somebody somewhere is looking at 20 week, 50 week, and they're using that once they get confirmation to say, okay, game on, buy. And
just put your stop loss there just in case.
Yeah, exactly. And taking the risk to go up. What I find super interesting about that, again, if people take the time to go look at this stuff, you can actually see the prices test those levels, like almost exactly. Like they'll test them, and if they flip them into support, then boom, off you go. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't trade though, like I like we were talking about earlier. I end up trading because I do LP and stuff, but yeah, I'm always thinking, man, this is like, it looks easy. It does, after the fact, right? Because it's always trailing. It can always look backwards. But would I even made that decision when I got the signal? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I almost equate it to how a lot of people trade to how they go into a casino with the slots. So a lot of times they'll make money in the first couple hours and they just don't want to sell because they think they can make more. And then all of a sudden that $100 that went up to 130, all of a sudden you're back to 70. And now you got to wait a little bit longer to hope it continues moving up. But then it goes down to only worth $50. And like, you just cash out, take your loss and move on, or you keep on holding and with the leverage, it goes to zero and you get liquidated for that position.
Yeah. That house
just don't take that
house,
profit and walk.
that house money, that free money concept sucks, man. That's so bad, right? Because that's what I do, right? Because I I'll cry if I lose like $200 at the casino, right? But even with little piddly dollars like that, if I'm going to play, I'm standing next to somebody feeding the machine $100 bills, right? So I do one, right, and I'll double my money, and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna stay in, maybe this is gonna be the big one. This is gonna come back around.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly. Normally what plays out is I just piddle away until there's nothing left. Right?
Last time I played the machines was May last year for my daughter's 21st birthday. I took her to Vegas with my wife. We went and got a steak dinner at the Cosmopolitan up on the top, right? And then came down, threw $40 in a machine, paid me $800, $778 or something like that. And I just walked.
Yeah.
Nice.
Paid for dinner.
Is everybody done with their cigars already?
Mine's gone.
Mine's almost gone.
I'm always done first.
I'm on my final third. This has been really good smoke, man. It's red pepper. It's like spicy red pepper in my mouth. It's great.
This thing's just smooth as can be. Smooth as can be.
Yeah, I'm still tasting that red meat cigar. That ribeye was absolute fire.
Yeah, those are good. I like all of that whole line. The ribeye. Believe it or not, I like that meat stick the best. That closed foot meat stick. That thing is phenomenal.
Closed foot is an interesting stick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't see those very often.
No, and
no, this is Red Meat Lover, right?
Yeah, Red Meat Lovers by Saka by Dunbarton, and the close foot on is only on the meat stick, I think. But what they do is so when you get a cigar like that, you don't toast it. A lot of people don't know you don't toast a cigar that's got a closed foot. You just smoke it, because the reason they close the foot like that is so that you can get the blast of the wrapper. And I don't know what they're doing, but that meat stick literally tastes like a steak, like a mesquite grilled steak when you hit it. And then that slowly goes away, and then it like goes through a whole thing. But yeah, I like the filet mignon. I like the ribeye.
And the porterhouse is big.
The porterhouse, I had that one too, and that one's good. But I'll tell you, the meat stick was by far my favorite.
I don't think of those. I don't think the only one I haven't had is the meat stick.
Yeah, you'll like it, man. You'll like it. Again, he's doing something. He's doing something with the flavors there, because that thing literally tastes like mesquite. It was really good.
That's awesome.
And then it got sweet towards the end, like really, like almost like you go through a whole meal, right?
Yeah. Very good. Well, this show was a lot of more crypto than cigars. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
switching it up a bit.
Yep.
So the Oilers are up 4-3.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so those were, Steve specifically made those to be smoked after a steak, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be after you have a big meal, big hearty meal, and yeah.
So what he's doing,
might be why mine tastes so good. I just made chili tonight, you guys. So I just had that stick after a bowl of chili.
Yep. I tell you, he knows what he's doing, man. He's been putting out some really good stuff these last few years. I want to get a hold of one of those unicorns. I know they're hard to find. You can't get them or whatever. But he went out and tried to make like the perfect cigar. He went out and bought all of the expensive tobacco to do it and put that thing together. And, and of course he talks about, if you look at some of the stuff when he talks about that unicorn that he made, he's like, it's just too hard to make that kind of cigar and make money off of it. They're too expensive and they don't really, sell. They're things that people give away and smoke on special occasions and whatnot. Really good, but it's hard to produce something like that. It's to source that kind of tobacco all the time, like we were talking about in the beginning.
Yeah, they got to. I don't know if they taste it, but they got to test it, right, to figure out what it's gonna come out as. Takes some skill, I bet.
If both sides of the meat stick are closed, I wonder what would happen if you smoked one backwards.
I think they're made. No, they're not made to smoke either. There's one of them out there. I forget what it is. That's made to smoke either way now. Which one is that? Oh, it's that one that looks like a hot dog. They're packaged up like Oscar Mayer hot dogs. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that, buddy.
Yeah, they're packaged. I forget what stick that is, but they literally look like a pack of Oscar Mayer hot dogs. And
when Georgia Red Hot.
Nice. Michael, do you need to get ready for your family, buddy?
Yeah, and a few. What do you call it? Waiting on my sister to get here. She's coming all the way from Bellingham. She just finished up her last final. Me and her have a 10-year age gap, so she's still in college. I'm happy. I'm behind in college. College is behind me. I did not like college at all. I didn't know I had ADHD until like partway through college. So.
I'm in crypto college now.
Oh yeah, much more fun. Yeah. Much more fun.
Much more fun.
My college never had events in Vegas or Hong Kong or Dubai. My college never got me into a yacht party.
Yeah, neither did Push and Iron for me for all those years. I didn't get any clubs or events or even vacations, let alone crypto events with cigar lounges and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, even like I went to that party I was talking about in Vegas, and I met the owner of 8 Lounge, and I met the manager of 8 Lounge. I mean, the manager was so nice. He just gave about 30 sticks to take home with me, and I was just like, "That's a lot of money with the cigars right there."
It's good because I paid for those because I paid $200 for a stick in his place one night.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I saw they had the Opus X Societies that normally go for $100. They were selling for like $199, and I was like, "Oh my god!" But they were selling through them like crazy, and it was just nuts. And then, luckily, when I went there, he caught my cigars and my drinks. So I went in.
Let's do that one next week, RG3. You get one, smoke it, and I'll just watch you smoke it.
And Opus? You guys want to do Opus X next week?
Yeah, you can do it.
I've got a whole box of them. I mean,
he does.
Whenever I run into them, I grab them. I love those things. I hate the fact that I love them, but I love them. And my favorite cigar is a Dominican Puro, or as close to as Dominican Puro as you can get. And of course, that's like the Dominican Puro. But that's my favorite stick is Dominican, and it's got that right amount like this. This one's really good too.
I can't wait to try that Fonseca that you got.
I got to get those in the mail. I got the box and everything right. I just got to drop it in the mail for you.
Those will be awesome.
I smoked one the other day when I was up in the mountains fishing with my boy.
How did you like it?
Oh, it was good, man. It was good.
It was.
Yeah, it was really, really smooth. When you think of a My Father cigar, it was really smooth, and it had that Cuban kind of florally, flavor to it. It had that little peak of that little sneak hint of that, and that's what I really liked about it. And it was a smoother, less peppery cigar than say the Judge or something, because the Judge I like that Judge though, but it's kind of a stronger, more heavy bodied cigar.
Well, Michael, next time we go to Vegas as a group, we've been there last time. When was that? In March. So when we're there, if we're there and you're there, buddy, we would love to take you out for a IRL cigar.
Oh yeah, I'm always down.
I don't know that brand.
Yeah, our haunt, we like going. We've been to the other lounges, but we really like going to Enfuego. It's got that homey feel. They got a great humidor, a good customer service. Their sticks are reasonable. You're not going to get the bougie atmosphere and the Brazilian girls dancing over there with the music and all that kind of stuff like you get in 8 Lounge, but you're gonna have a stick and they're gonna have the games.
There were dancing girls. I missed that.
At 8 lounges, they got the whole. It's the whole thing.
When I went to 8, I ran into Marshawn Lynch there of all people, and I forgot he lives down there now. And I said hi just for a few minutes because the manager introduced me, and it was great. But like besides that, I mean, it's expensive. That's why I like going to Tap Nash.
Just following the Raiders around? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, is it some type of management like Pete Carroll's down there now and everything?
Yeah.
So just vibing down in Vegas. But apparently he goes there quite a bit. So I'm gonna try to stop. Well, next time I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm in Vegas this week. To the manager, is Marshawn Lynch? If Marshawn Lynch is there, hit me up and I'll be there again to say hi again. Because I didn't get to take a photo. I was too like starstruck, and I was like, oh, I should get taking a photo with him.
He left you guys high and dry after you didn't give him the ball to get in the on that Super Bowl.
I was so destroyed because I knew they were going to try to throw, and I was like, they have time, they have a timeout, they can do it, and it just. You remember Richard Sherman's face? That was all of our faces up here.
He was stunned.
Oh,
stunned.
It was like stunned with heart attack, high blood pressure, all of it mixed together.
Just give it to the guy that looks like a stack of bricks and let him go through and get the freaking touchdown.
And that's coming off of the crazy Super Bowl we had against the Broncos too. So everybody was like, "Oh yeah, we got this. We're going to beat Tom Brady and everything." And we had that one crazy catch, and I was just like, "Please don't throw the ball no more. Please don't throw it. Let Marshall Lynch do it." And then boom, it was a good one. But yeah, rough. It was heartbreaking.
And then Tom Brady goes on to participate in FTX and rugs us off. So it's all connected.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
He personally knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I recall he lost a lot. I don't know if he did it. But,
he did.
Careful of those. Hey, I'll pay you Tuesday if you'll promote for me today. Careful.
Stay away from that stuff.
Yeah. He did the Raiders wrong too in the snow game. I'm never gonna let that down. I've
been a Raider fan my whole life, and it's been nothing but heartache. But heartache, man.
Hey, it used to be like that with the Patriots. I mean, I can go into the Patriots game, walk into the pregame, kickoff parties, and all that, man. And they almost let you in for free.
Yeah.
But then they got good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then you couldn't get there without $10,000 or $20,000 to go. I ain't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous too. How it's gotten like that. It's just too bad you can't even go to a game anymore. But gotta make lots of crypto in order to be a sports fan anymore.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. I'll stick to baseball games. Nice and well. Heck, even the Seattle Mariners Stadium. They have like dim sum now. They got a bunch of high end foods just chilling in there if you want it. But I just I just want a hot dog and a lemonade. I'm good to go.
$20 hot dog. I'm good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Angel Stadium is crazy out here in SoCal. I mean, it's just like they got jacuzzis out there and all kinds of shit. I mean, it's crazy. It's just insane.
I went to the opening season of Pac Bell Park, San Francisco, right before it changed its name, and the company I was working for at the time had a luxury box, and I ordered peanuts, and they brought me a basket of peanuts like this, and it was $75. I'm just going, holy smoke, $75 peanuts.
Man.
Did you say peanuts?
Well, I was peanuts. $75 peanuts.
A basket
Big basket of peanuts.
I don't know.
That's what I always order, bro. That's what I order every game.
I'm sorry.
Won't switch it up.
It's sad because I was a kid in the 70s, and I grew up at the Dodger Stadium, basically going there with my grandfather. And we'd get there early because when you got there early, they'd be in the hallway there, and you'd have Ron Say, Davey Lope, Steve Garvey, Bill Russell, Jaeger. I mean, you name it, they'd be there and they'd be signing your stuff, and they just, line that was, like maybe 20, 30 kids standing in line getting, signatures from these guys. And you bring your Dolly Madison, pie package in there and you'd get a free baseball and they'd give you the ball and they'd sign it for you. I mean, it was just cool back then, man. And you just can't do that kind of stuff anymore. It's so sensationalized, and forget getting an autograph from anybody anymore. I mean, it's just, it's changed. It's too bad.
Yeah, I agree, buddy.
All right. Well, I want to say that we should probably call it. I really enjoyed this Lancero. Again, this was a tribute show to Rojas and their street taco line, and who they are in the industry, boutique brand coming out and kicking butt. And now they're based out of the U.S. and Texas and killing it out there in Nicaragua. Good job, Norm. I believe is Norm.
Check them out.
Check them out. Go get some of their sticks. I'm gonna go get me some of those street tacos as soon as I can find a place that's got them.
Yeah, me too. I really enjoyed the red meat levers. Love that stick. Won't ever stop buying those. And I enjoyed having Michael on. This was a switch, so it was very cool to have you on, sir. It
was really cool.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate the invite. Trust me, I love cigars. Well, today's Thursday. After I hang out with my family for a little bit, I'm going straight to the cigar lounge and hanging out with all my buddies there. I'm usually at the cigar lounge 5 days a week, smoking 3 cigars a night, chilling out, trying a bunch of new stuff, and just having a vibe. And whenever I have a good trade, I head up to Seattle, and I'll try something real bougie that's like 5 years old, 10 years old that you can't find anymore. Oh, man. Speaking of opuses, one of the ladies up there, she has an opus. I don't know exactly which one it is, but it has like a raven or something on it, and I want to try that, but it's out of my price range right now. But it looks delicious. I don't know what it is, but it looks delicious.
It's got to be.
RG3 in trouble with his wife.
I'm already trying to find it online. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for coming. Michael, it was a pleasure having you. Hopefully we'll see you around some more. Ever want to come drop in on us, let us know, and we'll get you back in here and hang out with us. Oh, yeah. Maybe when the bull market's in full effect, we'll get you back in here and talk about the excitement. But thanks, everybody. We're ready. Producer, let's talk about tomorrow real quick. The effing hangout is still going on. All you Hexicans out there, come see us, hang out with us at Discourse Syndicate's effing hangout. That's your show. You get to come on. You get to come hang out. It's open to everybody. We just put the link out there. Anybody gets to come. So it's your show. Come hang out, and we'll see you next week. Burn it all.
Third board leaf, sun-soaked and proud, hung in the rafters, wrapped in shroud. Hands work strong, they twist and bind. A rebel's oath, slow burned and signed. Burn it all, let the embers soar. Gold in the ash and coal in the core. No masters here, no gates to climb. We blaze the trail, we love that time. Choke what we designed. The flames don't die, they realign. The pulse within begins to rise. We'll break the night and claim the skies.